once you go into cloud, it's everything handled by the cloud service provider. But
Correct.
why do I want to go with another provider? Like if I'm using AWS, why do I want to go with also Azure? And like why also GCP, right? Like what's your thought on that?
So when we say multi-cloud in VMware, the VMware terminology, it doesn't mean that you have to work on all the clouds. Some company may be fine with just one cloud, right? For example, we have VMware Cloud on AWS. If they are working there and they are fine with their ecosystem, their IT infrastructure, etc., that's fine. They can just work there. When you say multi-cloud in VMware, it means that you can operate on any cloud. So VMware is in the process of becoming a de facto multi-cloud player, like we are now a de facto private cloud company, right? If you look at big enterprises and if they are using any virtualization stack on-prem, it would very highly likely be VMware, right? So we are de facto in private on-premises cloud. Multi-cloud is, like I said earlier, it's a new space, and VMware is in the process to become a de facto multi-cloud player. What that means is our cloud can be run on any cloud. It can be run on Azure, it can be run on GCP or AWS or OCVS, Oracle, right? Or even IBM Cloud. So what that means then is, let's say one XYZ company is using Azure and they want to run VMware workload on Azure. They would use a VMware's flavor of cloud called Azure VMware Solution. So what then happens is they will be running VMware Cloud there, and the workload that runs in there is compatible to workload that they're already running on-prem. And for some reason, let's say if they want to migrate their workload from their on-prem completely and they want to go completely on Azure VMware Solutions, they can do that, right? So there are many different use cases that VMware Cloud provides or VMware Cloud is good at. One is cloud migration. These days, many companies, they want to move away from their on-prem rather than maintaining their data centers and server and network and software, storage, all of that. They want to actually give that heavy lifting, that responsibility to the cloud providers, right? So VMware Cloud can help there. So if we are talking about Azure Cloud in earlier example, what a company can do is they can completely migrate everything from on-prem and move it to Azure VMware Solution. And Microsoft, because it's a Microsoft's first-party solution, they can then support, they can then manage that infrastructure for the customer. So same thing with Google. If a company they want, they are aligned with Google and they already have lots of workloads running on Google, and they want to migrate everything from on-prem to Google, they can do that. And in Google, we call it Google Cloud VMware Engine. So in our cloud, they can run it, right? So we are capable of running this kind of workload on all clouds. That's why we call it multi-cloud. And if a customer wants, let's say after 5 years they were running on Azure VMware Solution and suddenly something happened and they wanted to move everything away from Azure to, for example, let's say VMware Cloud in AWS or AWS, then a customer has a choice to do that. And it can be done seamlessly. So that migration can be done, in a very short time from Azure VMware Solutions to VMware Cloud in AWS or vice versa, right? So that flexibility no other cloud provides. So if it's a VMware Cloud, you can, you can migrate your workloads between clouds as and when needed.